Hello. Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk you through some projects a tiny bit slower than that, but I aim to get through 10 things in 10 minutes. So this is what we're going to talk about. 0, what are we about? Number 1, branding. Number 2, unbranding. 3, big stuff. 3B, big stuff part 2. 4, you cannot not design. No design, bad design, serious design. What was that all about? And later means never. These first few slides, we actually show these to new clients when we start talking about the creative process. It also frames kind of who we are. So people wouldn't care if 3/4 of brands disappeared tomorrow. We think we've reached peak stuff, peak of everything. We've entered the age of average. It's a bit harsh, this one, but I kind of feel it's blandification, a little bit like watching England play. Everything like feels the same, feels like a little bit, come on. And this is a way we kind of tee up our clients to make exciting work. But we believe, at Uncommon, that some brands can make a difference like never before. These are the brands that matter, and ones that the real world are glad they exist. These brands are Uncommon. So number 1, branding. Rebranding FIFA's most popular football game into a club, EAFC.
Triangles. From total football, tiki-taka, gegenpressing. This is football's DNA. Always been in the game. Now, it's in the name. The shape of football's future. On the pitch. In the culture. To the world. Triangles.
So that was our launch film for our project. But interestingly, it started off with a triangle with an icon that's hiding in plain sight. And then Uncommon would build a big brand system, like normal things, like custom typography, graphic language, and design world. But what we really also really care and craft as much as the design work itself is how we launch it into the world. We launched that with Bex, Zidane, and also on the right-hand side, Benzema actually did this, which is sort of super cool. And for us, it's as much about launching as the work itself. So we partnered up with 65 of EA's partner clubs, and we made scarves and put them around football grounds for the first day of the season, and we did a launch event in Amsterdam, the home of Total Football. We actually got the world's best in situ pack shop. This isn't something we go around Uncommon showing, but when I explain Uncommon to my mates, this is what I sort of say. So we're a combination of a design studio and an ad agency. And to be honest, you could chuck a load more circles on top of there. So we call ourselves a creative studio, so we're neither of those two things. I've just added this one in. What we loved about the EA EA project was seeing the icon like appear in different places around the world, like from Sunday League all the way up to the professional game. But when you work with like iconic brands, you're involved in iconic moments. I know it's only a tiny thing, 'cause it's a logo on her shoulder, but Rebecca Welch was the first female ref in the Premier League. Number 2, unbranding. Removing the masthead or logo from a magazine. So early last year, we started rebranding Port magazine. This is like a little collage of some of the covers we were testing. And everything sort of felt like quite familiar. The magazine had like really good design heritage. We couldn't really quite get it. So we went back to what the essence of Port was about, and it's about the people. So we decided to ask all the cover stars to write their own name. Write the masthead, Port, and that would be on the cover. And it came up with some really interesting results. So Tyker's was playful and fun, and you can get that through his Port. And then Franz was talking about he wants to hide in everyday life, and his letters are like bent round and curved on each other. And Kai's was like an explosion. And you get this great sense of like personality through this moment, and we really want to connect with the cover stars in a closer way. It's also, the magazine has no logo, which is a bit of a nightmare, but we'll skip over that. There's some more stuff on Port. This talk's quick, so I'm just going to show you just some eye candy bits. Number 3, big stuff. So in a world that says you can't, you can do it. So this is kind of a way in how we'd like maybe set up the kind of like friction or tension in society of all our projects. So we have less money, less time, less motivation, less know-how. We don't know where to start. 80% of us want change, and only 36% feel they can do it. Even if it's scary, you can do it. Your dad could do it, your sister could do it, the handyman could do it. They aren't going to do it. You can do it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe never, maybe now, you can do it. And the creative direction for here, like, we use delicate typography, and that was kind of like a symbol for hope and your kind of like courage, I guess. And then we had these like huge like tools as superheroes coming in to kind of like save the day and empower you to make that change. We love shooting everything in camera. This is like a drill piece, the biggest drill piece we get, but a drill piece. And then we like painted on little bits of metal on the end of the drill piece. Super cool, like bits of detail. And again, we wanted to catch everything in camera to get the light, so the light was bouncing off the objects in the right way. And we always try and find a stretch in the idea with a slight twist. We spent way too long photographing toilet plungers. That makes you feel like brings you right down to earth, like $6.99. But like, it's popular, so, but at the end you get to do like, type as a turd, which is nice. 3B, big stuff part 2. Bit more report. This is an article about oranges. This story mentioned a gherkin or pickle. This is a cocktail. This is about chefs using too much butter in their food at restaurants. I didn't read this one, but this is popcorn. 4, you can not design. 5, no design. Ideas can come from anywhere, and uncommon, we have no formula. This was a sketch that our ECD did for BA, which reads, if you can't read it, it says on the top, it says, plane needs to feel sun-kissed, start with a person, add another, add a baby. So it starts with a person, you add another, and you add a baby. And we built this all around the idea of like, really what we're selling here, we're selling like the emotion. We talk about emotion a lot on Uncommon. And here we're selling the emotion of when you first look out that plane window at 35,000 feet, when you realize you're going somewhere special and you're excited. And the line we worked with, everywhere you go makes us who we are. A little bit behind the scenes. We love doing everything in camera. We try to hire a plane. Expensive. So we did a 3D render of the plane to figure out the correct angles and shot plates of the people. The next slide I'm about to show you is a warning. This isn't the TV ad. Because I've got so little time in this talk, I've sped it up to the end frame. So I apologize, but here we go.
Good evening, welcome on board the BA282. Flight time today is 9 hours.
Someone should have told you that you'd always have a place to go. Oh.
So I just kind of love the way that idea that started on a notepad and started as a poster ended its way into a film that inspired a film. And we also found the baby with the best core body strength to sit up, look out the window. And we also totally love it when we get spoofed. This is Ryanair, cramming people in. This is EasyJet. I've put a little pronunciation note on there, so I say New Yorker. I think that's right. The Gregs, legends. And then we started spoofing it in-house. I'm not really sure what this is, but this went all around our WhatsApp, so I thought I'd put it in. 6, bad design. The insurance category is all about risk, but never want to talk about risk. They always want to reassure you. So we want to talk about risk and mistakes. So for Hiscox, we made the most disastrous campaign ever. I'll let you read that one. So all about little mistakes for big consequences. Just lovely kind of idea-led, I always love that thing of the smile in mind. I think this kind of does that. 7, serious design. This was all about getting closer to the stars. I had to introduce Sirius because it's a brand in North America. It's the largest they call themselves the leading audio entertainment company in North America. But it's kind of like a big radio station. And it's called Sirius, which is named after the brightest star in the sky, the dog star. So we, again, an icon born out of a star and has a dog.
I'm in the 212 with the 5th cock. It's the 212. You gon' do when your goon sprayed up. Bet you, bitch.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Fuck are you into, hun?
Sorry, I sped that up a bit as well to keep in my time. And the work for Sirius is all about getting closer. It'll be closer to the stars. And also closer to the music. This is a piece of Out Home. This is getting closer to hip-hop. This is getting closer to the game. And we shot these all as a series of motion portraits. I love this one. This is getting closer to country. 8. So I'm just going to end with a point of view on Uncommon. So we ask ourselves those same questions we always put to our clients. So how do we go from being a brand that sells stuff to people to a brand that people wished existed? That's the studio we're trying to build, and that's what we kind of always say to ourselves. And this is really ambitious and really punchy, but kind of it's all what we all believe. We want to build a studio for the most important and influential briefs of our time. 9. That's it. Later means never.